Author and activist Ayaan Hirsi Ali. Ayaan, you've been very vocal in your support for Israel in this horrible conflict that they've been involved in the last several weeks. That seems to be quite unusual. I don't hear many people who are Muslim who are speaking out on behalf of Israel. Why?
I support Israel primarily because it is not only a democratic and free government in that region where there is a lack of that, but Israel is based on a creed of life before death. And they are facing enemies that want to annihilate not only Israel, but eliminate all Jews. And the enemies of Israel believe in a creed of death. For them, life is transitional. And so the life of their own children, the life of their own mothers, the life of their own wives and fellow civilians, it doesn't matter that much because they're looking forward to death so that after death something wonderful is going to happen. And people don't see this basic difference. And it's so... If you don't see that, then you don't understand the conflict. I vote for life, so I vote for Israel.
You know, it's so remarkable and refreshing to hear you say that. But it's got to also put you in a dangerous place. Do you ever fear for your life that there would be some recrimination against you because of being a Muslim woman speaking out so clearly?
I am speaking out because I appreciate life. They want to take my life, and they wanted that for the past 12 or more years. And I think that the answer to that kind of threat is not passivity, because it gives them what they want. They can silence us all by threatening us all. What we need to do is to speak up for life and to take all the necessary actions for life before death, not after death. We need to support Israel. Because otherwise we are all in the position of Israel from their perspective.
You know, there's such a pressure on Israel to negotiate with Hamas. And even former President Carter, I was stunned by this. He came out and said that we ought to treat them like a state. They're a terrorist organization. You know, is there any point in negotiating with Hamas at all? Is there any value in that?
Okay, let's do what President Carter wants us to do and treat them like a state. States, you know, have conflict. How do you resolve conflict with states? You negotiate peace. So you believe there's a common ground. There is no common ground with an enemy that not only believes in death, but that only believes in your elimination. Then you have a second option, which is we could have some kind of coexistence, what Israel has been calling quiet for a long time. If the enemy is weak enough, we could keep them contained and, you know, we lead our own lives. But that's not happening. And so the third option, which is the least attractive of all options that Israel is faced with, is that they have to pacify Israel. And who will benefit from a full pacification of Israel, of Hamas? It is people who live in Gaza, the women and children who are now being used as human shields. Women and men, children are driven into hospitals, into schools, into places, and from that, rockets are launched.
You suggested that there was a person deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize, kind of a surprise. Who's that person?
I said Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu deserves the Nobel Peace Prize because he is doing what is right for the citizens of Israel. And as you all know, in a democracy, when you're running for election, you say you're going to do what is the best for those people who elect you. And we are seeing a leader who is under tremendous pressure from inside and from outside. And he is forced in a place where he has to take these options, and none of them are attractive. And time after time, he does what he promised to do.
Ayaan, you are a refreshing and wonderfully clear voice and sense, and I thank you so much for being here. I hope that our audience will find out more about the foundation that she heads up and support that foundation. The AHAfoundation.org is where you can get more information. What a delight to have you here. Well, up next...